We have Donald Trump, we have the Nasdaq, with the S&P 500, and the market just looks great. It really just looks great. You're getting back above your previous July highs here on the Nasdaq. We know above this level you are looking for breakout, which you are trying to get currently. You'd be trying to, best case scenario, you get the break, retest, continuation. What we're looking for. The other side is you have the Trump inauguration happening tomorrow. Markets will be closed going into Tuesday. They will reopen. And I think we might see buyers getting aggressive. Now, there's a few other things I want to talk about. Okay, number one, if you don't follow on Twitter, I recommend doing so. I'm doing chart requests on there right now. So there's charts you want me to go over, post it on there. I'll try to get over them. Me or Jay will go over the charts. But also, let's talk about like what's happening this weekend, right? I don't want to spend a bulk of the channel, the video on this. I just want to give my opinion. But this is Trump's meme coin. This is not a joke. This is dead serious. Donald Trump released a meme coin like 48 hours ago. People were saying it went from 18 cents. I mean, if you were like pre-bought, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how you could even do that, but whatever. Lows in the chart around $9 to this morning, you reached $75. I just want to highlight, and this isn't to, I'm not, people are like, did you vote for Biden? No, did not vote for Biden. Okay, so let's make that really clear. But this probably isn't the behavior of what you want to see with crypto. I posted a tweet. You can go back to this for yourself, but the Trump wallet, 80% of the coins are being held in one specific wallet and address. That's the cool thing with Bitcoin. In crypto, you can track basically all of it. They haven't rugged it. You're just praying to God that they don't. As long as they don't rug it, probably keep going up. But yeah, but then you have people that are just like, there's kind of like conversations you can have. And again, I like to have educated conversations, whether it's something that I'm for or against. Like, it doesn't matter. You have to be able to have an open mind to anything. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. But yeah, so comparing this to Hawk Tuah 2.0, I think it's a little bit different when the president's doing it versus someone who got famous for saying Hawk Tuah spit on that thing. Just saying. But yeah. So anyways, that's that. I'm not going to be touching it, but honestly, people were saying this is a great, for instance, I want to put this in market cap point of view. Your market cap right now is 12.4 billion. And if I'm comparing this to anything, I would say Dogecoin is the only comparison you can make. It's going up much faster, but Doge is at a 57.4 million. So I'm not going to say it doesn't have room to go up. I'm not telling you what to buy, but I'm just saying, like, if Dogecoin has value and it's a meme coin, Trump coin in theory could have equal or more value. He's the president. I don't know. It's crazy. Everyone's buying it, but that's what I put in perspective. Now you can start getting over 57 billion. That's crazy, but whatever. You still have like, almost 4x from where it's at right now. So pretty crazy. Going back into this though, if you want to go back into charts, things like that, follow on Twitter. It's all free for you. Now, Nasdaq, what are we looking at here? The biggest things here on the Nasdaq, getting continuation right now. You look really good. Now we go past that as well. Looking at the big holdings here, you're seeing those names start to bounce back up. I want to see Nvidia back above 141 again for more continuation. Why am I so big on Nvidia too? It's one of the top 3 largest holdings in the Nasdaq, and we see a direct correlation. When the Nvidia does well, the Nasdaq does well. AVGO, we did like to see this breaking back to the upside, back above 230. This is ideal. This is what you wanted to see. AVGO, semiconductors breaking back up. SMH back above its key level of 256. You got to break back above 262 to really get bullish, but you still look good. TikTok was banned. Can't get on TikTok no more, right? All 100,000 of my followers gone with the wind. Not talking about Brad Pitt. You're breaking back up. You get back above 617. I think you have upside there as well. But again, Tesla, big name as well here. I made a video on Twitter going over this as well, but I'll give you the quick little rundown here. Doing today's video a little differently, right? You're seeing Tesla below 430. I'd be cautious into 415. Above 430, I think you're pushing into 440. Above 440, all-time highs. I don't know the reaction that we're going to get from the hype of the presidency and Elon working with Trump. However, I would be a fool to ignore it. Above 440, you look amazing. You look very strong. You look very good. Netflix also trying to bounce. You need to get back above 870 for me to be bullish. So keep that there. Nothing else to really talk about. One of my favorite smaller semiconductor names out there, ARM, trying to break out as well. Been talking a lot about that one also. You can see trying to break back to the upside. One of the best looking names there also, right? So again, would I be watching? Would I be tracking? Now, the other part of this, you're more interested in SPY or Qs. Now, SPY, you're coming back into 600, our level up here. We need to mount above 600, 600.5, and I think you'll look good back into highs. You go into Qs. Again, you look fine here as well, trying to break up. You are getting the breakout. You're holding above 519. It's what you wanted to overall see. Okay, so those are the big things across the board right now. The other thing is we want to see when the president comes in, what happens with yields. Do we see the bond market start to react to this as well? And do we see buyers step back in? And how does the market start pricing in things there? Because it's totally possible that we've priced in the worst case scenario already, as far as the Fed and the president not getting along very well and inflation being a concern. We want to see the yields continue down and ultimately see TLT rise back into $91, $92. If that happens, you're looking at a very strong overall market. Now, the other part here too, what I'll say, over the weekends, I like to look at Bitcoin, just risk on, risk off what's happening here. Bitcoin's still very strong, pushing back into all-time highs. It's in a very good position. Again, I don't think you have a reason to assume a downside in the short term across the board on equities, futures, anything like that, just based on what's happening across the board here. You're seeing most of our strong overall Mag 7 names perform very good. You're seeing crypto names perform very good. You're seeing everything perform how we want it to perform here. So again, until there's some sort of breaking bad news, I don't see the reason to start getting very concerned here. And again, this has been the notion on basically all social media is the sky falling? Is it all breaking down? But again, the biggest thing that I've been saying here is, Nasdaq continues to bounce at the same levels, right? You kind of were in a downtrend here, but you're breaking back out. But you sat in this little range for I don't know how long. Like you just sat there and bounced back. So once false breakout, but you got back above. Grand scheme of things, you're still making higher highs, higher lows. You look very good here as well. And now that we're breaking out, people still want to point to the downside. Again, you have to come at the market with an unbiased precedent, right? You can't just think about it in a logical point of view. If you want to have an educated conversation with someone about politics, which probably won't ever happen in this lifetime, but if you want to, or at least try to, you typically want to have an unbiased point of view where you can say, well, this person's right, this person's wrong. And we used to kind of have that dialogue in America, and now we just don't. And I think we point the finger at it's the left, it's the right, but in reality, it's both sides because we just want our point to be heard, and we don't care who gets hurt or what happens in the process of that. That's just the reality in which we live in. So when we look at equities, we look at stocks, we just want to be right in our point of view of how we're trading, and it leaks over into all facets of our life, right? If we want to be in the best shape, if we want to make the most money, it's everyone's fault but ours. When in reality, the signs and the tools we need are typically right in front of us. So when I look at the Nasdaq, I think everything that I'm looking at, the tools, is pointing to the likelihood of more upside based on statistics too of presidents coming into office. And everything that's just happening across the board right now, and even what Fed Powell is saying with the strength of the overall economy. So again, unless we can break and hold below 21,000, 20,900, I don't see the reality of the downside in the short term. Again, that's an unbiased point of view, what I'm looking at, right? So again, if you have questions, comment down below. Would love to go over that, answer that as well, but kind of what I'm looking at right now. But again, another thing that I want to highlight here, okay, just really, really, really quickly. I want to go over something that we kind of been talking about in Discord on the week, okay? So something that I'm going to go over like our trades specifically, and this might deter people from joining Discord, but I want to just highlight how I've been trading. So this is the 17th, right? Tesla. Only one trade on the day, on the 17th, on Friday. No other trades. It's just Tesla, all we looked at. Go to the 16th, right? Tesla again. One trade Tesla, one trade there. The 15th, one trade, Netflix. Jay got a trade, so there's two trades on this day, right? Netflix and Apple. The next day, the 14th, one trade, AMD. And nothing else. Nothing else. The next day, we had another Nasdaq Meta trade as well. What you're noticing here, when you're not getting great action, i.e., you're just chopping towards the downside, sitting in a range, however you may be moving, you're not getting the action that you want to see, don't overtrade, right? Now, what I will say is a lot of those trades did really well, right? But again, get it out of your mindset that you have to be over trading. You have to take 30 trades. You have to do this or that. Be patient and wait for the steps. Now, I will say, if Nasdaq starts breaking out here, it's setting up for you guys have seen me. When I get the action that I want, we start firing off on trades and we fully take advantage of those little windows of big profit making. And I think you're at one of those windows very soon. But I want to say, patience is your number one, is your friend here. And again, the other part of this to prove the case here, go into gains and losses here. You can see whether it's from futures. Again, I post futures nonstop every day, so that's a little bit more difficult to scale on how many trades you're taking. But again, just look at the facts here, right? Just being patient, taking the trades in front of you, right? Now, when people are over trading, it's easy to summarize what's happening there, especially in bad action. So I encourage you guys, as you're going into this, until we start seeing the confirmation, which I think you're seeing it right now, be patient. Don't get over aggressive. Like for instance, on NVIDIA, you get above 140, 141, I think it's really strong. Below that, I'm not a huge fan, right? AVGO above 230, we like it a lot. Or below 228, we think it's very bearish, right? So again, rules of thumb to look for, what we're looking at overall. Netflix, we traded this week above 840, we love it. Below 840, not a fan, don't want to touch it, right? You want to trade into all three targets. So using those examples of just being patient, guys. I'm not cherry picking. You can comment down below, see if I'm lying about anything from Discord, anything like that. But again, it's just the notion. I think people get sidetracked of how we're trying to trade and what we're trying to do. And I'm just like, guys, sometimes you got to hit the brake. And there's just not a lot of opportunities out there for you. And if there's not a lot of opportunities, why are you taking as many chances in the market? It doesn't line up. It doesn't make sense. That's my point of view. If you have questions, comment down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow or maybe Tuesday. Have a good one, traders.